They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. Each account insured up to $250,000 by member's choice. This institution is not federally insured.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together.
Come see the only train-themed restaurant where all the seating is on the tracks. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill on Main Street in both Bartlett and Glen Ellen is always fun and always fresh. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill serves 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs and burgers. There's also chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and more, all loaded up on 2 Lionel O scale trains and delivered directly to your seat. No one sits away from the fun, regardless of age. When a train arrives delivering your food, you'll smile ear to ear. Visit twotoots.com.
Who doesn't want to smile ear to ear? Welcome to a Friday morning, Studio 14 in downtown Elgin in the heart of the Fox River Valley. It is time for your Friday first shift. And I'm Marky B reporting for duty. And here on a Friday morning, our first shift begins with our Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And a good Friday morning to you from WRMN and from the Fox River Valley Media Network.
Welcome to the first shift, right here on the Voice of the Valley, WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Don't get that excited. I'm only introducing Marky B. Exactly. Featuring local news and sports, your Fox Valley forecast and local traffic twice an hour at 15 and 45 minutes past. Timely interviews, a radio shopping show preview, milestones and memories, and born on dates of the lates and greats. Elgin Trivia, and all of your phone calls, texts, and Facebook comments as part of the staff meeting. The First Shift is the most informative, entertaining, and interactive morning show in all of the Fox River Valley and beyond.
You liar!
Well, okay. At least it makes great background noise, whether you're at work, in the car, or at home.
Whatever.
Your host, Marky B, maintains an upbeat attitude every day despite the fact that he's saddled with an overall lack of talent, a delusioned ego, and false hope for a bright future.
Loser.
Yeah, he's pretty much a loser. But at least he tries.
Loser.
Welcome to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin for The First Shift on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Loser.
Calm yourself. Not that much of a loser. Jeez. Go easy. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oops. Hold on. Hold on. Gonna turn that off. There we go. Happy Friday. 6:13 here at WRMN. AM 1410. Yes, AM 1410. The blowtorch on a Friday morning. And WRMN Radio on YouTube. We're tubing if you want to be a part of the Beehive Bar and Grill. Come on in. It's Friday. Belly up in the Beehive Bar and Grill. We'll serve you a cold one. Or I guess this time of the morning, maybe a hot one. And get you ready for the show here today. It is the 15th day of November, the halfway point of the month, and we're about, well, less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving now, so how about that? And but we got a weekend or two before Thanksgiving still, 2 to be exact. So let's kick in this one on a Friday morning, the 320th day of the year, the 46th week of the year, and the 4th quarter of the year. And here we are to do it together one more time on a fabulous Friday. Let's start by taking a look at the weekend forecast, which I think is going to be fairly nice, especially for November the 15th. We're sitting at a pretty decent 47 degrees this morning. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles an hour. Wind's not a factor. So it's just a nice, cool 47 degrees at the start of this one. Temperature's not moving too much today, as once again we'll stay in the lower 50s. Cloudy skies expected today, with a high of about 52. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 43, and then heading for your Saturday, mostly cloudy again tomorrow, with a high of 53, so clouds in the forecast for most of the weekend. I'm hoping we see some sunshine in there too. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 53. I think that means some sunshine. And then tomorrow night, a slight chance of an overnight shower, a low of 45, giving way to Sunday. Mostly cloudy skies on Sunday and a high of 60. And the next major chance of rain comes Monday night, as Monday night's forecast is certainly calling for rain with a cloudy low of 48. So not a bad looking weekend at all as we head to the second half of November. We are currently sitting at 45 degrees at the start of this one. So let's do this together here on a Friday. We are tubing, as I mentioned. We're at WRMN Radio on YouTube. If you want to join us that way today in the chat room and say hey to us, love to hear from you. We are also available on our Image 360 information line, which is 505-926-1410. 505-926-1410. Image 360 at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. They have bold solutions. They have exceptional support, and hopefully they'll have your business. Next time you have some signage needs, whether they be car magnets or brochures or stickers, whatever the case may be, consider Image 360 in South Elgin. All right, so those are 2 ways of getting in touch with us today. The other way is the old-fashioned telephone. 847-931-1410, the number to call on the show today. That's 847-931-1410. My name is Mark. And I am a
Loser.
No, I'm not. I'm here to be with you. And I'm here to be joined by Jakes later on this morning. In fact, the last 2 days I've had co-hosts for an hour on the show. Wednesday it was Elliot Serrano in the 8 o'clock hour. Yesterday it was MR2, Mayor Mike from Hampshire. And they both made quality guest appearances this week. Today we go 2 hours with a co-host and Jakes, who is now a veteran of the program. Not a military veteran, but a veteran of the program. Jakes joins me this hour between 7 and 9. And we'll talk about some things, and we can talk about news, or we can talk about some nonsense. We can talk about what you want to talk about. Be a part of the show this morning and give us a call. 847-931-1410, the number to call. Tim Calderwood joins us this morning at about 8:40. We'll talk football. I have not done my pick six yet, so I got a little work to do in the next 2.5 hours. The pick six games are available on our website at WRMN1410.com. It's the Rookies All-American Sports Pub and Grill pick six, a matter of fact. And if you win, like Downtown Jose did last week, you could win a $25 gift card to Rookies, which can be used there. Rookies has an Elgin location and a St. Charles location and a Huntley location, just to mention a few. You can go to Old Republic and enjoy some live music and use that $25 gift card there. Old Republic is on Randall Road. Village Squire, a couple of locations. One is on Randall Road in South Elgin, and another that I know of is at the Original in West Dundee. Or Alexander's Cafe. That's my prediction as to where Downtown Jose is going to use his. We'll see if I'm right. WRMN1410.com for the picks, and if you can make your way into the radio station and somebody lets you in, you could fill out a pick sheet. I would say don't take that gamble and get the games offline at WRMN1410.com. Green Bay and Chicago on Sunday for a noon game. And so we'll be talking about that some in the 840 segment today. Stevie T is here this morning, but not until 9:30. I skipped one. Chief Anna Lally is in this morning at 9 o'clock. Badge 240. And I know she wants to focus today on autism and autism awareness. And she probably wants to talk about this event that I'm going to put up on our web, if I can find it. Wow. They've posted many things on their Facebook page this week. Some good, some not so good. But here is one of the posts that the Elgin Police Department has put on their Facebook page this week. It's an event going on tomorrow at 1 o'clock over at the Herrick Chapel at Judson University. Heroes Unite, the need for first responders autism training. It's a documentary screening, and the public is invited. And that's going on tomorrow afternoon. I believe that's going to be the main focus of Fridays with the Finest today with Chief Anna Lally at 9 o'clock. However, we have had a couple of these this week. A couple of these from the Elgin Police Department as well. Community notifications. And we had another one yesterday. So, we probably have to spend a couple of minutes talking about crime, at least get the chief's report about 2 incidents which have taken place this week in the city of Elgin. One of which I'll tell you about in a few minutes. It is a shooting, another shooting. This one, a physical, well, no, hang on. And maybe it wasn't a shooting. It was a physical altercation. Doesn't say shooting in here, so that's my bad. A physical altercation that resulted in a death that took place on the 700 block of Jefferson Avenue yesterday in Elgin. So I'll talk about that when I get into my news here in a little bit. I got plenty of news to try to squeeze in the next half hour, so we'll talk about that. And we also did have a shooting earlier this week, so All of that coming up during Fridays with the Finest, perhaps this morning with the Chief. Your thoughts are welcome on all of this Elgin action going on. We had Rick Kozel in, the city manager, earlier this week, talking about some of the issues from his perspective. And it's been a very busy week here in life for me, and maybe in general for the Fox River Valley. Started with a great day, Veterans Day on Monday. I've had 2 Elgin Township board meetings this week that both went very long. 4-hour meeting last night, 4 hours. Oh, man, and it got a little contentious last night. A couple of important votes that sparked a lot of conversation and maybe a little controversy. Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe I'll let the dust settle on that because I maybe need to let the dust settle because my brain is still a little tired this morning. So I'd like to think it through a little more. But we'll see. It may come up in conversation this morning. It can. It can. I just want you to know my vote was no. Twice. My vote was no, twice, if it comes up. 623 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Okay, so all of that possible as a part of our conversation this morning. Steve Thoren's in. He's got the Senior Community Spotlight Show on the air this morning at 9:30. And he follows that up with Music Memories. We'll kick back and listen to some great music today, right, Steve? I think today is a day for Music Memories. Yes, it is. Middle of the month. So Music Memories this morning from 10 until 11. Some old school tunes as picked out by our friend Steve Thoren in the 10 o'clock hour. Matt takes over with Out to Lunch this morning at 11 a.m. All right, so all that's happening on the show here today. It's 624. On WRMN. Some of the news that I may go over, I mentioned the altercation that led to a death in the city of Elgin. I'll lead the news off after I come back from the bottom of the hour break with that. A couple of sentencings in Kane County by the Kane County State's Attorney's Office. Give you a few crime time details on that. Should we call the guy Bad News Brown out of Elgin? He runs bars and clubs in the area, and those bars and clubs seem to have trouble. It's happened a second time with a bar he has owned, so maybe I'll go into that story a little bit with news this morning. And some other news throughout the morning as well. High school football is back up this weekend. Only a couple of teams from around here in the immediate Fox River Valley remain in the playoffs. Geneva, Batavia, Sycamore, if you count Sycamore as being in the Fox River Valley. Well, it's in the listening area, so it counts. Sycamore is still alive, along with Geneva and Batavia, and Sycamore, actually, of the 3 of those teams, might have the best chance of winning a state title. And lots of other stories for discussion this morning as well. It's 625. As I mentioned, we're on YouTube today, so say hey to us if you'd like. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube early this morning for just a moment and say good morning to Dennis D. Not So Young. He's the king of Facebook today. He checked in at 6:07. Good morning, First Shifters. Have a great day from Dennis D. Not So Young, The Nightmare on Elm Street. Their favorite band to go watch is Smokin' Guns, local band out of South Elgin. Well, Jim Banky's from South Elgin. He's the lead singer, and I guess they're going to be at Danny's Pizza tomorrow night, so the D Not So Youngs may sign autographs tomorrow night at Danny's Pizza if they make it out to see Smokin' Guns. Let's see. The Big Boss Man checks in. Good morning, Marky B and First Shifters. Have a great weekend from the Big Boss Man, sending us our first 8 prayers to our prayer scoreboard. 8 prayers from the Big Boss Man. Captain Keith, senior engineer, Elgin High, class of 1978. Back when life was great and I was 8. More comments on the way as our first shift staff meeting continues throughout the morning. You can always send pictures as well. Any pics from the last couple of days, send them to the Image 360 information line. Or any comments, 505-926-1410. A special happy birthday wish is on the way too. It's 6:26 on a Friday morning. I like to play some tunes during the show as well. And I think we'll start with kind of a slow song. It's a good song. It's a rock ballad this morning from the band Styx. James Young from Styx was born this week in 1949. James Young turned 75 years old. 75 years, James Young. And back in 1980, they had a lot of hard rockin' hits, Styx did. But they also had a soft side. And back in 1980, they got in touch with their sensitive side, and they came up with this song. This takes us into our news at the bottom of the hour at 6:30. Local news, and then I'll have more news for you in the next half hour. Styx and Babe on WRMN. This is the first shift, Friday, November 15th. Good morning. On the Friday morning, I'm responsible for firing off the news myself, so I thought we'd hear a little more Styx and a great song, Babe, on a Friday morning. 6:31, right here on the first shift on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Now let's check out that local news and sports.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Cruden. Brought to you by Verizon. Thursday, November 21st at the Golden Skillet Family Restaurant, the latest Coffee with a Cop session will take place from 8:30 until 9:30 a.m. at 740 West Chicago Street in Elgin. The city of Elgin has been named one of the top U.S. cities for workforce growth, boasting an impressive 16.08 increase in its working age population. With thoughtful planning, the city aims to sustainably manage this boom to benefit local businesses and maintain its high quality of life, that according to the city of Elgin. A late-night dispute in Elgin on November 13th ended tragically when police discovered a deceased adult male at a residence in the 700 block of Jefferson Avenue. The incident, which police described as isolated, with all involved parties known to each other prompted an immediate investigation by the Major Investigations Division, authorities assuring that there are no ongoing threat to the community. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
One of the things we're proud of at WRMN is our connection to the local community. In fact, recently we hosted a fundraiser for a longtime listener, Gene Wheeler, and first shift listener George Rollinson says it turned out perfectly.
Perfection is a moving target. You try to hit that bullseye and you zone in on it. It moves a little to the left, then it moves a little to the right. I don't know. I'd say we hit a bullseye. I don't know how that could have been any better.
Working together to make Elgin better. We are WRMN AM 1410, serving the local community since 1949.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears and Packers square off this Sunday. Chicago's offense will be under new direction with Thomas Brown taking over for the fired Shane Waldron. Jaquan Brisker remains out with a concussion. Tevin Jenkins out with an ankle injury. Mercedes Lewis sat out practice Thursday on a rest day. For Green Bay, a couple of new additions on Thursday. Rashid Walker limited with a knee injury. Jordan Morgan has a shoulder injury and was limited. NBA Cup group play tonight. The Bulls visit the Cavaliers. Chicago's 5-7. The Cavs off to a 13-0 start. Donovan Mitchell averaging just under 24 points a game. Nikola Vukovic averaging a double-double a game for the Bulls this season. 20.7 points, 10.2 rebounds. College football Saturday. Illinois looks to snap a 2-game losing skid. They take on Michigan State. Huge test for Northwestern when they host number 2 Ohio State. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
My phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to our Friday. Oh yes, happy Friday music. This music makes me happy. Puts me in my happy place. That's why I play it on Fridays. We want to be happy. In times of high stress, in times of anxiety, high-pressure decisions, just remember, it's only life. It's only life. And we should be lighthearted as much as possible and enjoy every day. Don't be a big stress ball. 6:37 here on a Friday morning. WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Okay, where was I going with all this? Welcome back to the show, I guess, is the first thing. I want to say this because, I don't know, this makes me happy too. And maybe this can be the Bender Dental feel-good story of the day to get us started in the news, because I'm not sure if I had one set aside anyway. Let me see if I did or not. I may have forgotten to grab me a Bender Dental feel-good story of the day, which would make this perfect. And that's true, I did forget. So, perfecto, here we go. The Bender Dental feel-good story of the day, if I can read it. The print is kind of small, and the lighting in here is a little bit dim. That's my fault. I should brighten the lighting a little bit. Still dark outside because it's cloudy, and I think we're going to stay on the cloudy side today. But this came across yesterday. I got an email from a lady named Laura from Pingree Grove. She works for the village of Pingree Grove. And Pingree Grove is one of our great neighbors to the west. We've made some great friends and some great neighbors in Hampshire and Burlington, and we want to have similar relationships with the leaders of Gilbert's and Pingree Grove and Elburn and Maple Park and all the great little towns, little villages just to the west of our hub, Elgin. So I was pleased to see this. It's about the Canadian Pacific Kansas City Railway 2024 Holiday Train. The Canadian Pacific Kansas City Railway Holiday Train will make its way to Pingree Grove the day before Thanksgiving. Not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, November the 27th. The train is scheduled to arrive at 8:45 a.m. at the north side of the railroad tracks on Reinking Road, near Damisch. Is that how you say that? Sounds German. Damisch? Attendees must be on the north side of the railroad tracks by 8:30 a.m. Don't stand on the tracks. Get to the north side by 8:30 a.m. And you will not be allowed to cross the tracks once the train arrives. Okay? North is that way. That way. So be on that side of the tracks. The Canadian Pacific Kansas City Railway will be collecting non-perishable food items and monetary donations for the D300 Food Pantry, that's District 300, if you're keeping score at home, providing food assistance to those in need within our community. There's a lot of people in need. There'll be more in need if we keep on raising your taxes. But that's another story. After the train, stroll on down to the Gather, where festivities will continue until noon with ornament making, food trucks, beverages, and gift vendors. It's a morning event, but the holiday lights and sounds are spectacular. So see if you can make it. If you happen to have the day before Thanksgiving off, or maybe you can start your day out there before you go do what you got to do. If you have a little flexibility in your work schedule, then It's the north side of the railroad tracks at Ranking Road, and bring some perishable food items or a little bit of cash, I guess, if you want to make a monetary donation. The train itself will be on the tracks between 8:45 and 9:30. So next Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, Amber Kubiak, the president of Pingree Grove, will be the village president will be in here in the studio to tell us more about it and tell us about Pingree Grove. It's a budding, sprouting little area just to the west of Elgin. And so there's your Bender Dental feel-good start to the day right here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. And so we'll have more about that. And at the least, you will hear from the village president of Pingree Grove next Wednesday morning here on the show. And her name is Amber Kubiak. Nice for us to make further inroads to our great friends from the small towns to the west of Elgin. And who knows, there may be more than just that to announce, but we don't have any more to announce than just that yet. But it's the train, the day before Thanksgiving, the morning before Thanksgiving. 6:43 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. That's the good news. That's the good news. The bad news is, what time is it? Once again, it's crime time. Once again, it's Elgin. Elgin crime time, death investigation. Same general, well, maybe not the same general area, I guess, as the shooting that we had earlier this week at the 400 block of Douglas. This is the 700 block of Jefferson. I don't know. I was hoping maybe to get to take a quick ride over there yesterday, but I didn't, to see exactly where the 700 block of Jefferson is. But I think it's a little bit further to the east of where the 400 block of Douglas would be. Probably a little closer to Larson Middle School, is my guess. The 700 block of Jefferson. At 11:12 p.m., the night before last, officers responded to a report of a physical altercation inside the residence. Officers arrived on the scene and located an adult male subject, subsequently pronounced dead, on the scene. Detectives from the Major Investigations Division are busy these days, and they're actively investigating this case too. This case was an isolated incident with no threat to the community. The parties are known to each other, so they know. They know who maybe done it, and they know obviously who the victim is. Those names have not been released. No arrest has been made as of the time of this release by the Elgin Police Department. There's been no follow-up yet, so that's all we know right now. The identity of the male victim will not be released at this time, it says. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office is determining the cause and manner of death, pending the results of an autopsy, which I imagine took place yesterday, or maybe it's going to take place today. So we'll get it, maybe if there's any update to announce beyond what I just let you know. We can find out maybe from the chief this morning. We'll probably file a short report before we get into our autism talk this morning in the 9 o'clock hour. So that's the 700 block of Jefferson. A couple of days after, we had a shooting on the 400 block of Douglas, both in that. The word general is important to say, the same general area of Elgin. 6:45 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Crime time. We got more crime time. Kane County State's Attorney's Office, they've been busy in court this week, and they've been making some sentencings this week, and here's the latest from a Naperville man sentenced to 6 years for drug-induced homicide. Samuel Nesnadal, age 27, of Putman Drive in Naperville. Kane County State's Attorney Jamie Mosser announced that Judge John Barsanti has sentenced Samuel Nesnadal to 6 years of imprisonment in the Illinois Department of Corrections. He pled guilty to the offense of drug-induced homicide, Class X felony. Assistant State's Attorney Kelly Orland stated in court that October the 1st of 2020, in the heart of COVID, Nesnadal unlawfully delivered an amount of ketamine to the victim, 23-year-old Austin Bank of Aurora. Bank ingested the substance and was found dead in his home the very next day. An autopsy and toxicology analysis revealed that Bank died from fentanyl and ketamine intoxication. In accordance with Illinois law, Nesnadal must serve at least 75% of the sentence, which would be roughly 4.5 years, because the sentence was 6 years. And I'm good at my percentages, especially after last night's monetary delegations to a lot of social service organizations here in the area. I can tell you that 4.5 is 75% of 6. Nesnadal receives credit for 2 days served in the Kane County Jail. He's got to pay $20,000 in restitution. I wonder where he's going to come up with that. 648 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. All right. Well, we have that. Let's see if I have time for a couple more here, because I have a feeling we're not going to get back to this type of news. Once Jakes is here, we get rolling in the 7 o'clock hour. Fast-paced Friday here at WRMN. So I titled this story, Bad News Brown. Is it accurate? I don't know. You decide. Bad News Brown. A Wheeling bar that was the scene of a fatal shooting this past weekend has shut down and could face the loss of its liquor license or other penalties as the investigation into the violence at Social Bar and Grill at 401 East Dundee Road continues. Wheeling police say the person of interest who had been in custody following the shooting was actually released Tuesday afternoon without being charged. So they couldn't find enough on this dude, I guess, to hold him. And he's been released. And I say dude, it doesn't say dude, it says person of interest, so there's me assuming. But a lot of times in these types of situations, that would be a safe assumption that would be a man, right? Am I stereotyping men? I could be. 649 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Witness accounts differ significantly as to exactly what happened inside the bar at 2 o'clock in the morning last Sunday morning. But Jacob Taylor, 24 years old, of Hampshire, was killed. Taylor was there to see rapper King Louie perform. So he had that going for him. The shooting occurred during an altercation between members of King Louie's group and another group. Sometimes that's the way they roll. The handgun police, what? Okay, bear with me here. The handgun police believe was used in the shooting, there we go, was recovered. So the gun was recovered by the police. Punitive action against the bar and its owner. The bar's owner is Elgin resident David Brown, owns the Social Bar and Grill of Wheeling. And the bar and Brown could include suspension or revocation of the liquor license and some fines. And Sunday's fatal shooting was not the first at a bar that Brown owns. In 2021, about 3.5 years ago, Khalif McAllister of Aurora was also killed, and 3 other people were wounded in front of Trilogy in St. Charles. Brown also owns and managed Trilogy. He owns and manages Social Bar and Grill, and he owned Trilogy, according to state business records. Michael Carwell, 24 years old, of Aurora, was charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder after the Trilogy shooting back in 2021. So Brown seems to have a propensity for opening bars that have seedy activity that goes on inside. Wouldn't that be a fair statement? That's probably a fair statement. 6:51 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Finally, this is a story that I reported earlier this week, so I just want to put some closure to it. I hate, it bothers me. It bothers me more and more all the time when I bring up these stories and then I don't have an ending to it. It becomes 3 days later and our lives move forward and I don't put closure to these stories sometimes. And that's why I guess sometimes I get a little bit irritated about hearing about crimes going on in Elgin, but we never... I'm not sure. Sometimes I feel like we don't really get closure on an arrest and things like that. And so I'm trying to find like the end, or at least the next step, and not just leave it at the crime. So anyway, this is not related to Elgin. This is a fire that I talked about early in the week in Hawthorne Woods. And a body was recovered, and that's all I knew. Here in the middle of the week, they finally identified the body as 73-year-old Sherman Della of Hawthorne Woods. His body was found Sunday in the debris of the home on Rosewood Drive as firefighters performed recovery operations this week. And excavation crews removed debris and pumped water out of the home's basement. You may have reported remember that earlier this week I reported that firefighters responded to the home at 3:10 Sunday afternoon and found a heavily involved fire in the two-story wood frame residence. Della's body was identified through scientific examination, including dental comparison. So, turned out to be a 73-year-old, I guess maybe got trapped inside the house when the fire took place and he died. Sherman Della of Hawthorne Woods. 6:53 here at WRMN. It is just about time to hit the 7 o'clock hour, and the Jakes will be around to join me, and your phone calls are welcome. We can talk about whatever else is in the news. Or whatever you want to talk about. You can send me pictures. There's downtown Jose. He's here. He's your pick six winner. He got his winnings yesterday, and I guess he's off of work this morning, so he's going to hang out here in the community center with the ladies for a little while. We're at 14 Douglas Avenue here in downtown Elgin. That's the home of WRMN. Nice studio that Dino and Sonar have put together for us. Street side. Dino's scheduled to have his show this afternoon, Dino's Night Out. I haven't heard much about it this week, so I'm not sure if Dino's got some secret magic up his sleeve. But Tammy had a fun show yesterday. Talk time with Tammy and friends. They were on the road having a good old time. It was Tammy and Mary and Nancy, and that's what they do on the show. They're smart ladies. They educate you about a lot of things that they know about through life experiences, and they also have fun at the same time. It's a silly, fun, educational show all at the same time. Talk time with Tammy. On Fridays, it's Dino's Night Out, so we'll see what Dean's got for us today from 2 until 4. 6:55. Taking it over to the Image 360 information line. Let's see what we have here. We say good morning to Hector and the fam. And Hector says, "Happy birthday to Mommy. I love you so much." I love you so much, Mommy. Aww. There's Hector and his mommy in a picture, and that picture is from this summer, I believe, when they came out to the premiere of For Profit that we had at the Marcus Theater over on Randall Road. There you have it. Hector and Ninny Rose. Happy birthday, Ninny Rose. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ninny Rose. Happy birthday to you. I do sing happy birthday to ladies. Sorry, ladies. 6:56 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. All right. What song should we go out with here to take us into the top of the hour news? And we'll get back to some more comments in the next hour. Lots of comments coming in on YouTube today. So thanks to Hector and the big family for listening in. And happy birthday to a person that created or helped create a lot of that family, Ninny Rose. On this day in music history, let's see what we have here for you. I think I'll skip it. Nothing that's just dying that I feel like I'm dying to play right now. So let's just go ahead and talk for the last 2 minutes and take you into the top of the hour news. Let's have a haiku. Uh-oh, I only have 2 lines written from the word of the day from Blackhawks Brad. The word of the day is mosey. Mosey, to wander or shuffle about leisurely. Larry Jones used to mosey on in here 3 days a week. We miss Larry, but we'll see him in December. Let's win this day. The American flag flies, the eagle flies over the fabulous Fox River, and prayer number 68. How could that be? I think I didn't reset the prayer scoreboard. We are not at prayer number 68. I think that might have been prayer number 1. Prayer scoreboard reset time. Prayer number 1. But that's not number 1 because I think the big boss man sent a few. He did. So we're at prayer number 9. And 3 more from Hector, by the way. And 3 thumbs up. 658. All right, here we go. I don't have line 3. Can I make it up on the fly? Please repeat after me. Mosey on over. Try to make yourself at home. We are family. I made that up on the fly. How was that? Oops, blew on the wrong end. I hate it when that happens, of the train whistle. I was wondering why no sound came out. Mosey on over. Try to make yourself at home. We are family. There's your haiku. It's 6:59. This is the first shift on a Friday on WRMN. Good morning.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Massiano's Pizza and Pastaria of Elgin. There is one inexhaustible aspect of everyday life that never dulls, namely the simple pleasure of eating and drinking. Massiano's wants to make sure that this is the best part of your day. Visit Massianos.com and sign up to view their special offers all year long. Delivery, carry out, or dine in, enjoy it anyway, because life is good at Massiano's. Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit BenderDentalCare.com.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 7 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan. Brought to you by Verizon. The city of Elgin has been named one of the top U.S. cities for workforce growth, boasting an impressive 16.08 increase in its working age population. With thoughtful planning, the city aims to sustainably manage this boom to benefit local businesses and maintain its high quality of life, that according to the city of Elgin. A late-night dispute in Elgin on November 13th ended tragically when police discovered a deceased adult male at a residence in the 700 block of Jefferson Avenue. The incident, which police described as isolated, with all involved parties known to each other, prompted an immediate investigation by the Major Investigations Division, authorities assuring that there are no ongoing threat to the community. Thursday, November 21st at the Golden Skillet Family Restaurant, the latest Coffee with a Cop session will take place from 8:30 until 9:30 a.m. at 740 West Chicago Street in Elgin. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards, because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Be sure to catch the first shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get one or two in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the first shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Thursday Night Football, the Eagles rallied to a 26-18 win over the Commanders. Philadelphia 8-2 with the victory. They improved to 4-1 at home, while the Commanders dropped to 7-4, 3-3 on the road. Washington led it 7-3 heading into the half and took a 10-6 lead into the fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts gave Philadelphia a 12-10 lead on a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Then Saquon Barkley rushed for 2 touchdowns just 20 seconds apart on the clock. The first was a 23-yard rush at 4:58, then a 39-yard touchdown at 4:38. Barkley carried the ball 26 times for a total of 146 yards. Hurts 18 of 28 passing, 221 yards. He got sacked 2 times for a loss of 15. On the other side, Jaden Daniels, 22 of 32 passing, 191 yards, a touchdown and interception. He got sacked 3 times for a loss of 20. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Looking to stay informed on the political issues that truly matter? I'm Dennis Sonar Green, inviting you to join me every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town, is where you'll find clear, balanced analysis of the day's biggest news. We dig into the headlines, cutting through the noise to deliver the facts and insights you need to stay informed. Whether you're deeply into politics or just want to understand what's going on, this show offers the depth and perspectives that matter. Tune in every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WRMN and be part of the conversation that's shaping our community. Let's navigate today's political landscape together on Apolitical Talk Show, only on WRMN, the talk of the town.
You never know what or who you'll hear from on the first shift with me, Marky B. Like Tim Skoning, a WRMN news reporter back in the 1960s.
The jingles you all play, they were purchased by Dick Sutter. He was at some radio convention. He came back with this reel. I remember them playing that in the studio. We were so excited. We thought we were network now. And it's the same jingles today. That's great. Every time I hear them, I get excited about it.
I'm sure.
It's a lot of fun.
Fun times on the first shift, right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Twin Zeros, located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, serves traditional gyros as well as its award-winning chicken gyros on a pita. Twin Zeros has a diverse menu that includes barbecue ribs, chicken dinners, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, cheeseburgers, and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM. 866-509-TERM.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast to Coast right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
That's the way you do it.
7:09. Friday morning here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. I'm Radio's Marky B, and I'm joined by local legend Jakes, who's here on this Friday morning. Future local legend Jakes. He's not quite to that status yet.
Not yet. I will say though that this song is a wonderful lead-in. It's like it's a good opener
for a show.
Yeah, like I just that opening riff and that sound, like it's not only iconic, but it's also it's a really good opener.
Yeah, I agree. I have to fast forward it about a minute and 30 seconds to get past that I Love My MTV crap.
Yeah, that's a little out of the way, but like once it actually hits the riff, really good.
I agree. Dire Straits, on this day in 1987, became the first rock and roll act to sell over 3 million copies of an album in the UK. Brothers in Arms contained 5 top 40 singles, including this one, Money for Nothing. So Far Away, Walk of Life, Brothers in Arms, and Your Latest Trick. The last 2 songs I really don't know, but I know So Far Away and Walk of Life, and this song, Money for Nothing. Coffee leaking?
No.
Oh,
I can just feeling it. I can tell that there's like an extra wrapping around it, which I think is what the festive holiday junk is.
Oh yeah.
Like when I squeeze it, I can feel the outer shell moving. So I was just kind of looking at the bottom of it to see the construction.
It's a regular white coffee cup with a wrap around it.
Yeah,
basically.
So it feels like.
Yeah. You like. I'm always a little nervous when I take my first sip of a cup of coffee.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Well, and especially depending on where you get it from, like there's a really good chance. So I am very, very hesitant to take my first sip of coffee, especially if I haven't let it sit for a few minutes, let it acclimate to essentially being born. Like a brand new fresh cup of coffee is generally about the temperature of the inner side of the sun. And I don't want that in my mouth. Like when I pull a pizza out of the oven and people are just like, yes, and they dive in, I'm like, that's 400 degrees. It's 400 degrees that you're putting in your mouth. There's sauce and there's cheese, and it's going to burn the crap out of you.
The sauce can be really hot.
Oh, especially if you're talking like square cut pizza and you bite into it and the whole cheese flops off and smacks you in the face.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well,
or you put so it's so hot you're pulling the pizza away, but the cheese
stays there.
So it's like stretching and it's starting to fall.
Right. And then you have a cracker with ketchup on it. That's terrible.
Or you try to like either move your mouth up so you can try to grab all that cheese that's falling, or you try to catch it with your hand, or just let it fall on your plate.
Either way, it's going to burn you.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Same thing with coffee. Like I've noticed, so that my first sip was definitely extremely hot. And usually when I used to stop at McDonald's to get my coffee before coming in here, I would pick it up right in front of my house and then wait the 20 minutes until I got here to take my first sip. And it was still magma. I mean, it was so hot. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's almost like they pour it into your cup boiling, which is not fun.
Yeah. It's kind of, they're kind of stuck. I mean, they know people want their coffee to be hot, so they make it as hot as they can make it, but they kind of take a chance that someone's going to be mad at them after pouring it on their lap or something.
Oh, of course. I mean, they've already been, like, especially McDonald's, they've already been sued. But like,
so I'm hoping that, because you want your coffee hot, and they can't say, well, we'll make it a little less hot, so that doesn't happen, because then if someone does wait 5 or 10 minutes, they're going to say, man, they make cold coffee.
Well, I think that it's such a fine line. And it's a fine line across the board. And I know that there are plenty of people that really like really hot coffee, and they can stand that. I'm not one of them. I want coffee that I can drink right away once I put it into my cup. Generally, my favorite is if I have some leftover coffee in the carafe from the day before. I can fill up my cup at like a quarter to a third of the way, make a new batch of coffee, and then pour the new stuff on top of the old stuff to at least not water down my coffee, but at least get it to a temperature that I can immediately start drinking it.
So you drink day before coffee?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. It just seems like it'd be...
Not like it's going bad. It's not like you left cheese on the counter and decided to eat it the next morning.
I suppose. I mean, people usually don't... If you make coffee, I mean, some people are not at all coffee snobs and they don't care. But if I made a pot of coffee, which I did when I got here this morning, and...
Well, I've had your coffee.
Well, I'm just saying, put that aside. Say Sonar comes in this morning at 11 o'clock and he wants a cup of coffee, and he pours some of the coffee I made this morning. I mean, would you do that? I mean, take my coffee out of it. Just say coffee in general.
Okay.
Would you come in at 11 o'clock and pour a cup of coffee that was made at 6 a.m. in the coffee pot, or would you make another pot yourself?
If there was a decent amount of coffee left, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm also that type of person. Like even if there was a little bit left, I would probably pour myself that and then make another pot, just because I don't want to be the jerk that took the last cup of coffee and didn't replace it. However, I'm not someone who needs like just brewed coffee. I mean, I do enjoy fresh coffee. I really like the taste of the nuances and like the freshly like crushed beans and like the freshly brewed smell and the flavor and all that. But honestly, when it comes down to it, it's almost like pizza. You know, you'll eat cold pizza. You'll eat pizza the next day.
Right.
It tastes the same. You're not really that far off of it. I mean, if coffee sat for 24 hours, it just gets colder.
Right.
It's the same stuff.
Okay. Fine.
I mean, if I wouldn't drink a beer that's been sitting out for 24 hours because
it got flat.
Then it's flat. But like the flavor is still going to be there. It's going to be flat. It's going to be weird. Yeah, and it's not going to taste good.
Yeah. 717 here at WRMN. The number to call on the show today, if you want to give us a call, is 847-931-1410. We have a thing called YouTube we have going on. It's WRMN Radio on YouTube, and you can make a comment up there, and I'll try to track the comments and not get so far behind, although sometimes that does happen. And I'm reading a comment someone's made about a conversation that we've had an hour and a half ago, and I have no idea what they're saying.
Oh, that's the
about
best.
6 conversations ago.
It's like being so late to the game. Like when you're when you're talking with somebody and they come up with a really good comeback for like a joke that you made a long time ago, and then they finally say it, and you're like, I have no idea what you're referencing, and then they have to go back and like explain it. I'm like, well, now you just made it weird. So making a comment of a conversation 6 conversations ago, an hour and a half. That's a long time ago, especially when you're talking radio.
They make the comment when we're talking about it. I just don't see it till an hour and a half later. And then I'm trying to figure out what they were saying.
That's a different story.
Yeah. Dino checks in. He says, God morning, FRV. First shift, Jake's and Marky B. Today, mid-50s and no rain.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a pretty mild fall.
Honestly, this whole week has been high of 54, low of 48.
I mean, it's nothing great. It's cloudy. It's chilly kind of, but you know, it's November the 15th.
Yeah.
And we haven't had any drastic ups and downs.
No.
It's been pretty steady.
We have had some like mid 30 temperatures.
Yeah.
Usually at night,
which is like normal.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
I think by the end of the month, I think I saw something on the news on the 1st of November where it was like in the mid-50s, or the normal high temperature on the 1st of November is like mid-50s, I think, still.
Okay.
And I saw, it was like on Channel 7 weather or something, and they said, by the end of November, the average high temperature in the daytime is 42, and the average low temperature is 29. So we're 2 weeks away from that. We're still in the mid-50s. 42 seems kind of cold. We would have usually reached 42 for a daytime high by now.
Yeah.
And we haven't yet.
And I'm okay with that.
No, me too.
I'm absolutely okay with that. I mean, 54, 57, if it would be that much better if it was at least sunny, because you can have a warm 54. Whereas like if it's overcast, it's definitely a cool, like that inner chill sort of 54, which again, it's mid-November. I would expect it to be pretty cold right about now. I mean, I haven't even worn a jacket yet or a coat. I mean, I've had really thick sweatshirts that I've been wearing, but again, I'm okay with that, especially where we are now. I just don't know what that means for the winter when it comes. Like, is it going to be really, really wet? Is it going to be very snowy? Is it going to be like brutally cold in January? When February comes around, the month that everybody hates, that everybody just wants to curl up into a cave and die, is that going to be the worst month of 2025? Like
February usually is.
It is. It's awful.
Yeah. 720, because you're sick of it by then. You're ready for spring and all that. Plus, it's colder. It's colder in February.
Yeah.
I mean, January might be the coldest month. February is not far behind, and February is usually the snowiest month, I think. At least early February.
Yeah.
All right, 720 here at WRMN. To finish Dino's message, he says the iconic Superdog at Devon and Nagel in Chicago had a facelift to rooftop mascots, Maury and Flory, the founders, in 1948.
I remember seeing... Wait, so they added mascots, or...
Not sure. There was a message that Dino put up at 6:09 a.m., but I wasn't talking about anything that would make him put that up at 6:09. So I'm not sure.
I've been to Superdog. I have been.
Okay.
But I just remember like a hot dog kind of guy.
721, so that's a Dino comment from earlier this morning. Linda Carter says, good morning, first shifters. Have a blessed day and weekend from Linda Carter. More comments coming up, and we have 2 phone calls. At 847-931-1410, here at 721. And let's start with Kay Jakes this morning. Morning, Kyla.
Good morning. I was all prepared to hang up in case the conversation went a different direction. I didn't want to be that person bringing up something you talked about 2 subjects ago. But talking about hot stuff.
Yeah.
I like my food hot. I like my coffee hot. I'm that person who takes it out of the pizza out of the oven and eats it right away. And when we eat food, when I say I'll put a bite of food in my mouth, I'm like, wow, that's hot. Tom's like, okay, I know that means it just came off the sun.
Yeah. But it's horrible when you burn your tongue, though, or something, and then it sticks with you for like a day or so.
Or the roof of your mouth, you get a blister up there.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, that is not fun.
That's the worst.
But
yeah,
I do have a friend, Uncle Dan, who will brew a pot of coffee, pour himself a cup, and stick it in the microwave.
Why? Is this not hot enough?
I guess not. Have you never seen him do that? He does it all the time.
I don't really pay too much of attention to Dan's coffeeisms, but I'll have to pay attention from here on out.
He does it all the time.
Because he does it all the time.
Wow.
It's the craziest thing. And speaking of weird coffee traditions, this has nothing to do with the heat of it, but I used to work with a water operator. Wonderful guy, charming, funny, older gentleman. He has since passed, but he liked his coffee strong because he would take brewed coffee from the coffee pot and he would add Folgers to it and then stir it up and drink it.
Really?
Like grounds?
Yeah.
The grounds?
Grounds, Folgers, instant coffee.
Okay.
Wow. So that's like
coffee?
That's coffee. That's rich coffee.
Yeah. Can you stir it up enough to make it go away, like the grounds to?
I feel like
dissolve?
you reach a point of saturation that like.
Not, Mark,
Yeah.
not grounds, but instant coffee
Okay.
that you get in a jar. And that stuff is designed to dissolve in the hot water.
Yeah. Okay.
But instead of using hot water, he's using hot coffee.
Right.
So it's like triple strength. I mean, it's...
Good God.
Yeah.
That's like mud at that point.
Oh, yeah. And he did that regularly. And so when I think of coffee, I always think of Bob and him
And
drinking
his bathroom
coffee.
visits must have been epic.
We don't want to know.
No.
Exactly. But anyway.
Well, thanks for calling, Kay Jakes.
Enjoy your hot coffee, and I hope you get some sunshine.
Yeah, thanks. You getting a lot of sunshine down there these days?
Actually, it's supposed to be 100% sunny today, and
Nice.
I'm looking out the window, and we got clouds. And
Wow.
I'm a little disappointed, but it's supposed to get sunny. So
It's early. It'll get better.
that's right.
All right. Take care. Thanks
All
for
right,
calling.
you guys have a great day.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.
Kay Jakes.
That's a great sound clip. I don't know. It's just catching me the right time this morning.
7:25.
So good.
7:25. So that's a call from Florida. What town does she call from?
Santa Rosa Beach.
Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, which is, in my mind, kind of near Destin.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes east.
45 minutes east of Destin. So our first call comes from Florida. Our second call is coming from Australia. We're not getting any calls right now from the Fox River Valley, where we are, but that's okay. It's the power of modern technology. And so we go to Down Under right now and say good day to Derica. Hi, Derica.
G'day, Marky B and Jay. How are you both?
Well, I think we're both a little tired, but it's Friday, so we're both upbeat because of that.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's like super tired this morning.
Yeah, we're all kind of dragging. It's one of those days when you don't want to get out of bed, and it's been kind of a busy week, but it's okay.
Now, I'd like to say g'day to Hector Soto and Mimi Rose and Mayor Mike Reed and everyone else. And Mimi Rose, happy birthday.
Oh, man.
And Mimi Rose, how old are you now? I would like to make you a birthday card and send it to you. I need your postal address.
You're gonna make what?
A birthday card.
A birthday card. Okay. Just send it to the radio station, Derica. We'll pass it out.
Then.
Unless Hector wants to put his address, I don't like being the middleman here.
No.
I mean, if Ninny Rose can somehow get me the address and I can get it to you easily, that's fine. But I don't want to take all these private calls to make it happen.
There's a town I want to tell you about. It's in Outback, South Australia. It's a mining town. A lot of tourists go there, as well as miners. It's called Cuba Pedy. And it's very unique. You know why?
Why?
Everyone there in Cuba Pedy lives underground.
Wow. So it's nice and cool where they live.
Yeah, they have to live underground because the weather there can get very, 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 very hot in the summer.
Yeah.
And very, very cold in the winter. So when they live underground, the temperature is perfect.
Right.
And the houses underground just look normal. They just have the rock from being underground. And they actually mine opals there.
Did you understand that, Jake?
Nope.
They do.
I don't even remember I can't even tell what the name of the place is.
No, and it sounds like she said they line opals there. That's what I heard. I don't know what that means, but
They mine opals.
Okay.
And the town is called Cuba Pedy.
Cuba Pedy.
C-O-O. Yeah. Cuba Pedy. C-O-O-B-E-R. It's 2 words.
Cooper.
P-E-D-Y.
Cuba Pedy.
Cooper. The B.
Cuba. Yeah, Cuba Pedy.
Okay.
And it's in Outback, South Australia, and it's a mining town, and everyone lives underground.
Wow.
Mining town. Cuba Pedy. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing this morning. Thanks for calling.
And there's another place in South Australia. It's called Lake Eyre. E-Y-R-E. Lake Eyre.
Oh, like
And
Jane Eyre.
It's dry. It's dry as a bone most of the time. But every now and then when it rains, it floods. And it doesn't stay flooded for long. But when it is wet, it attracts a lot of bird life. But when it's dry, it's like the desert. It's like the very, very white, like salty. It's kind of like your Badlands area. And, it just dry as a bone and everything. And just what else that's there?
Huh.
There's a sailing club in Lake Eyre.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing all that with us today.
Most of the time it's like bone dry desert. But there's a sailing club in Lake Eyre.
Huh. Okay. Well, interesting. Very fascinating. Thanks for calling, Derica.
That's all right. Another couple of interesting facts about Australia.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing Australian fun facts with us this morning.
Yeah.
Here on the show. And Hector's calling me right now, so let's see if he's going to say thank you for saying happy birthday to Ninny Rose or something. Have a great day, Derica. Okay. Derica here at WRMN. Extremely muffly today.
I know. It's like she's talking in the phone through a solo cup.
I know.
I mean, no, I love the Australian accent.
I do too.
If I could have any accent, it would definitely be Australian. I mean, just making him a birthday card sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But you have the combination of like the bad connection or phone. Like if it was just a little bit crisper, it would be so much better. But we've got two things working against us, and I'm just like fighting to understand what she's saying.
And I think it's just like different days. It's your ears can understand things better than other days.
Yeah.
This is not one of those days.
This is definitely not one of them.
So 7:31, I'm controlling my own brakes today. It's not built in. So I really didn't have to take a break there. I was just trying to move that along a little bit so I can get to this next caller.
Yeah.
I faked some jazz music there.
Well, you didn't really fake it.
No, I played it.
It was nice.
Well, let's take one more phone call here and see what Hector's got on his mind. Hey, Hector, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Marky B and Jake. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
We're okay, buddy. How about you?
Doing good. Just want to say thank you to Derica for my mom's birthday wish. And I have my son here, Jeremiah, who wants to say something to Grandma.
Okay.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Grandma. I love you.
Oh, happy birthday to Nini Rose from Jeremiah, member of the WRMN First Shift Youth Committee.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, man, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Are they coming by on the way to school a little bit?
Yeah, they'll be there around 7:40, 7:45-ish.
Okay. All right, buddy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right, Hector, I could understand that phone call perfectly fine. It's 7:32. This is the First Shift. Open phone lines 847-931-1410. Back with some topics and conversation with you here on a Friday on WRMN AM 1410. But right now, let us check the news as soon as I can find it and fire it off here on this Friday morning. 7:33 and 47 degrees and cloudy skies outside. I'm still looking, and I have almost found it. Jeez, where is it? There it is.
There you go.
7:33.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Verizon. The Elgin Police Department announcing that they have a person of interest in custody related to a shooting that occurred in the 40 block of Douglas Avenue earlier this week. There they had found an injured man who was taken to a local hospital. His condition remains unknown. Elgin Police continuing to investigate. 4 members of the Kane County Board saying goodbye after their most recent meeting of the board. Mark DeVos stepping down after 2 decades of service. Mike Kenyon leaving his mark after 18 years. Ron Ford, known for his focus on employment and growth, completing over a decade in his role, and Monica Silva, who has served since 2010, is also moving on from Kane County Board. In Naperville, the Municipal Officers Electoral Board, including Mayor Scott Wehrle, convened to assess objections to nomination petitions for City Council candidates Nag Jaiswal and Fareed Shabazz. The board completing a hearing for Shabazz, ruling 2-1 in favor of the objectors, effectively removing him from the ballot. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. NBA Cup group play tonight. The Bulls visit the Cavaliers. Chicago's 5-7. The Cavs off to a 13-0 start. Donovan Mitchell averaging just under 24 points a game. Nikola Vukovic averaging a double-double a game for the Bulls this season. 20.7 points, 10.2 rebounds. College football Saturday. Illinois looks to snap a 2-game losing skid. They take on Michigan State. Huge test for Northwestern when they host number 2 Ohio State. The Bears and Packers square off this Sunday. Chicago's offense will be under new direction with Thomas Brown taking over for the fired Shane Waldron. Jaquan Brisker remains out with a concussion. Tevin Jenkins out with an ankle injury. Mercedes Lewis sat out practice Thursday on a rest day. For Green Bay, a couple of new additions on Thursday. Rasheed Walker limited with a knee injury. Jordan Morgan has a shoulder injury and was limited. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
My phone. Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm through with standing in line. The clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be. Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. So what you need? I'll need a credit card that's got no limit and a big black jet with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
To a bus full of old guitars, Mine Star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
7:39 here at WRMN AM 1410, WRMN Radio on YouTube. Northwest West and Northwest Wesley Jr. II are outside right now. I think Northwest West likes this song. Rocking out in the front seat.
I mean, I like Nickelback.
Yeah. I like the song.
I mean, it's not. I personally don't think it's one of their best songs, but it's a good song.
Do you think they stole it from Kid Rock's Cowboy? It reminds me of that song a lot.
No. I mean, not at all.
No?
Not at all. No.
Northwest West is saying no.
I mean, I can pull tonal similarities, but it does not give me like that vibe.
To me, it has a lot of similarities between the two songs. Okay.
No.
I'm outvoted here 2-1 by Jakeson Northwest West, who's nodding his head in his truck right now. 7:40 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. And Nickelback, I guess, made the news on this day in history for some reason or another. Let me see. Chad Kroeger, guitarist from Nickelback, who had the song I just played a part of for you, was born on this date in 1974.
Oh, wow.
Chad turns 50 years old today.
Good for him.
Yeah. 7:40, welcome back to the show. 847-931-1410. What are you doing tonight, Jakes?
I'm actually going to be going to a fun time going to shop for liquor for Friendsgiving next weekend.
Really?
And then after that, I'm going to hopefully be watching Mike Tyson make a mop out of Jake Paul's face.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because that's kind of where I was trying to go with that, is I think I'm going to watch Mike Tyson fight tonight.
Yeah. I mean,
why are we watching Mike Tyson fight?
The fact that we are even saying that, and also I'm telling everybody on the airwaves right now that this was not pre-planned. I had no idea that you were going to bring this up. It wasn't even in the agenda. Nothing. No. Like, I didn't even know if that was even on your radar, nor was it even really on mine. But just because of the ridiculousness of it, I think I'm going to.
The novelty? The Mike Tyson's actually going to be back in the ring again?
Yep, I think I'm going to be watching this. The dude's 58.
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what his age was. 58, okay.
He's 58. I, for the longest time, and I still do, I think this is going to be a crazy money grab sort of thing. I almost feel like Jake Paul is getting paid to, or maybe even paying to have this done. I thought that it was going to be more of an exhibition fight where they're just kind of slapping each other with feathers. It was going to be won by points, no knockouts or whatnot. But I don't know. Like, I just watched a video of their weigh-in last night, and when Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul in the face, and Jake Paul kind of decided, again, it could all be just a part of the script or whatever. But honestly, Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul only became famous in any notable interest through YouTube, because they were YouTube stars or whatever. Okay. Which the fact that you can be a YouTube star still blows me away. So they basically became famous for being stupid, and now he has Jake Paul hasn't really had that many real fights. And he's been knocked out once and lost a match. But
who is he? Is he a boxer?
He's like a boxer, mixed martial arts guy.
Okay. I've never heard of the guy.
I mean, he's like a walking sack of baloney. I mean, he's an idiot. He thinks very highly of himself.
Okay. Is he a lot younger than Mike Tyson?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Very much. And honestly, there's parts of me that thinks that Tyson's doing this in a way to kind of pass the torch, but pass the torch in a notable way. But at the same time, that's the champ. Mike Tyson is kind of almost a household name because of his history. And he was really good at what he did, and he also hits like a truck. And I don't care how old he is. I saw some of the training videos leading up to this fight, and Mike Tyson, first off, I'm saying all this crap about Jake Paul in the the knowledge that I'm never going to have to meet the guy.
Right.
I definitely would not want to get into a ring with him, and the dude would definitely be able to lay me out. However, that does not negate the fact that I think he's just kind of a waste of space. But when you're talking about someone like Mike Tyson, I think out of Mike Tyson's first 17 fights, I think 12 of them ended in knockouts.
Oh, at least, and it was usually in the first minute.
In the first round, yeah. And rounds are only 3 minutes long.
Right.
And so the dude has some power. And even at 58, the dude's got some power. I wouldn't want to get punched by Mike Tyson. That does not sound like a good time to me.
No. That was a long time ago, though.
It was a long time ago, but the dude's not any smaller. And when you've got that type of power, even at 58 and in the shape that Mike Tyson's in, dude, I honestly hope, I guess last night at the weigh-in, Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And
he's trying to get that meanness back about him again.
Well, definitely getting the meanness in and definitely trying to get into Jake Paul's head. But I'm if this wasn't real, I'm hoping that maybe that made it real. And I don't necessarily see Mike Tyson wanting to tarnish his I don't know. I don't want to say his career or even his legacy by losing to Jake Paul. So I'm hoping that he because the animalistic side of the whole thing, I'm hoping comes out
He's an animal.
When he gets back into the ring for real and you've got the crowd and everybody, I hope that something takes over and he just annihilates the guy.
Yeah, I find myself rooting for him too. But he kind of already tarnished his own career a little bit by losing several fights at the very end.
Well, yeah.
So he kind of became, can't think of the right description of him. For lack of a better description, like a mockery of his own self. Late in his career, and people weren't taking him seriously anymore, and he wasn't focused anymore. The thing is, he's probably focused this time. It's been a long time. Yep. He knows he's back in the news. He wants to prove he can still be the animal Mike Tyson. He could be the most focused he's been in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And that could make the difference. Towards the tail end of his career, he had so much going on in his life. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the same guy. He didn't train as hard as he did when he was hungry and young. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole different generation for him now.
Well, and especially the last several times that we've seen the guy has primarily been in movies or some sort of show or whatever where he's either, he's obviously playing himself or a version of himself. Like I think one of the last movies that I remember seeing him in was The Hangover. And, I mean, I think that now having the opportunity and being called out to then get back into the ring. I honestly, it's weird because I really don't think it's that big of an opportunity, but it could kind of be a big opportunity for Mike Tyson to like come back and kind of show that he's still got it and he can whoop up on this like young whippersnapper who's talking his face off. So it should be interesting. Nonetheless, it should be interesting.
748 here at WRMN, 847-931-1410. We have a phone call. Let's get some thoughts from the commander, American Legion Post 57, joining us here on the show, Mark Smith. Hey, Mark.
Hey, morning, Marky B and Jake. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Not too bad for the fact that it's Friday is making it a good thing. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. I was actually calling in to talk about this. So I'm glad you guys went to that. But the official stuff out of the way first. It is Fish Friday at the Legion, so we'll be doing fish from 11:30 to 1:30, and then from 4 to 7. And we're going to show the fight tonight at the Legion as well. So
wow, cool.
If anybody wants to watch, come on in. It's on Netflix, which is if you have subscription, which is nice. It's not a huge pay-per-view event, which is great for everybody. But yeah, I'm kind of along the lines with Jake's as well. I've been watching that. There's like a 3-series documentary on Netflix as well that's been highlighting their training. And I don't know. I'm calling Tyson. Within 3 rounds, he's going to take out Jake Paul. So, but anyways, yeah, the official rules for tonight are knockouts are permitted. It's sanctioned as a pro bout. It's not an exhibition. The fight consists of 8 2-minute rounds. They're wearing 14-ounce gloves and no headgear. So it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of along the lines with you guys. I think Tyson's taking it seriously, and it's going to be just the depth and experience he has.
No headgear, but Jake Paul's going to have to wear a helmet after tonight.
He might be headless, as hungry as Tyson's going to be. Well, I'm glad it's on Netflix. Because I think if it was on pay-per-view, people wouldn't necessarily pay for it.
Well, and
I agree.
I mean, the whole pay-per-view thing is so. I feel like that's so passé. It's almost like AOL.
Remember the days
kind of around.
Maybe it still happens, but I can remember when I was a little more into boxing, and the match would be on pay-per-view, and you'd have to pay like $40-50 for it, and then there'd be some disappointing first round 45-second knockout, and you're like, oh my God, we just wasted all that money to see that.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading down to Champaign tomorrow, taking my boy down there to see U of I play Michigan State. So hopefully Illini get a win out of that.
Yeah, 2-game losing streak, so it's gotten a little disappointing for Illinois after a promising start this year, right?
Right. I like their quarterback. He's good, but they've had some struggles the last couple games. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend. Have a great rest of the show, and we'll holler at you later.
All right. Thanks for calling, Mark.
Got it. Thanks.
That's the commander, Mark Smith, American Legion Post 57, fish fry, and the fight at the American Legion tonight. So I guess a lot of people are going to watch this fight tonight.
I know, and most people have Netflix, and so there's. I feel like even the people that aren't into boxing, like I'm not huge into boxing. I don't care.
I'm not anymore.
I think the last fight that I watched was the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, which was on pay-per-view. And that was kind of a disappointing fight, and mainly because I hate Floyd Mayweather, and I feel like he needed to get beaten up, but that didn't happen. So that was a little disappointing. But I feel odd and funny just thinking about the fact that people are actually going to watch this, and then people that aren't even into boxing are going to watch it just because of how like crazy it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was, if ever in my whole life I was a boxing fan, it was during Mike Tyson's prime years.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of relate, and that's kind of why I want to see Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah,
I mean, he had an interesting story in his life, in his boxing career. How dominating he was, how he came from the ghetto and made something of himself, made millions of dollars, had all this stuff going on, then started having legal trouble, drug issues, you know, and so he went full circle in his career and kind of bottomed out.
Yep. And
so he's like the classic American story in certain ways.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. In certain people anyway. So, all right, 7:52 here at WRMN. Mike, so it's an 8-round fight, but it's only 2-minute rounds.
Only 2 minutes instead of 3. I mean, Mike Tyson has like carved out a piece of our pop culture to the point that the character on The Simpsons, Dredrick Tatum, is actually essentially Mike Tyson. Like, and then his manager is essentially Don King. Like, it's interesting how ingrained into pop culture that Mike Tyson has become as a boxer, but also as a pop culture icon, for the lack of a better term.
Right.
And so for the guy to be coming back to fight this, like, YouTube, I don't know, idiot, like, it's just interesting. And so I feel like everyone's just like, oh, let's see what this is all about. So hopefully it pays off. Hopefully it's a good one.
7:53 here at WRMN. Becky Blue checks in on YouTube. She says, happy Friday, first shifters. Have a great day. Safe weekend. Plenty of sunshine from me to you. Becky Blue.
Thing is I don't think it's going to be sunny this weekend.
No.
It's going to be a lot like it is today. Honestly, I wish that it was actually sunny, because like sunny right now, what is it? 45?
Something like that.
It's going to be a high of 55 today. An overcast 55 and a sunny 55 are two very different things.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not windy, I'm good with it. But I think, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, for middle of November, it's not bad. I'll take it.
No. 7:54 here at WRMN. Becky Blue sends us 25 rays of imaginary sunshine, and we'll have to use it today on this cloudy day. Dino says, happy birthday to Hector's mommy. Hector's mommy just drove by the radio station with 2 others from the WRMN Youth Committee, First Shift Youth Committee. That was Jeremiah and Iris riding in the car.
Hell yeah.
Happy birthday again, Ninny Rose. Have a great day. No nickname John. We haven't done the bad joke or bad pun of the day yet. So here it is. Good morning, First Shifters. It's America Recycles Day. I called my local recycling center about accepting old batteries. They said they'd take them free of charge. Free of charge. These old batteries.
Please be quiet.
This needs to stop now.
Shut up!
I think that's pretty good, actually.
It was pretty good, because it's good and it's very subtle, actually. It's like they take them free of charge. And then you have to think about it for a minute. Now, I will be honest and tell you that I did actually use the provolone. I actually told that joke this week.
You did?
Yep.
What is it? I forgot.
It's like there's so many people out there that are trying to better me at making cheesy jokes. And I just have to tell them, you got to leave the provolone.
Oh, yeah. You used that this week, huh?
I did.
Wow.
Please be quiet. Shut up!
Did you get a laugh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got a laugh, and then I had one person that laughed for like 2 seconds, and then they're like, oh my God, that was actually, don't say that again. I'm like, trust me, I get it. It's supposed to be a bad joke, and it is a bad joke, but it's a good bad joke.
It is. Well, I'm giving No Nickname of John an 8 on this one today. I think it's solid.
They take it free of charge.
to recycle your batteries. 7:56 here at WRMN. The Sultan of South Elgin checks in, says, good morning, Mark, Jakes, and the WRMN shifters. Y'all make it a perky and peaceful Friday and weekend.
Trying to make it perky. I don't know what it is about this morning that everybody is just dragging. I don't know. Was it the week? Was it the fact that there's no sun shining? Like, I don't know what it is, but I thought I was the only person that was going to just basically drag myself in here this morning. But then when I came in and everybody's feeling the same way, I don't know, maybe there's something in the air, something in the water.
It's that time of the year where the bed feels real good.
Oh, man. I don't even want to talk about it. Talking about getting out of my bed this morning was like going through a bad breakup. Like getting divorced after 15 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Just walking out. It was so bad. It was heartbreaking. When I looked at my clock and it was 6:27, it was 3 minutes before my alarm went off. I literally had the moment of waking up, rolling over and being like, oh, it's 6:27. Man, I feel so good. I'm looking forward to more sleep. And then I remembered, no, it's Friday. You have to get up and go to a radio show. And I'm like, well, that's great. I just threw a wet blanket on my fire.
Sorry.
That's all right.
You could have called in.
No.
Can't be a quitter, though.
Nope.
Got to be resilient.
Absolutely. I got to
come to play every day.
When I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Overcome the obstacles.
Absolutely. What is this, like join the army sort of ad? Like, you got to get up, you got to fight, you got to be all you can be. Join the army.
Yeah, even if you're not your best. You have to...
you should start writing motivational posters.
Lay it all on the line.
Yeah.
Let the chips fall where they may.
There you go.
But they're not going to fall at all if you don't make an effort.
Nope. You got to drop them. You got to drop them yourself.
What does that mean?
Well, if you're going to let the chips fall.
Oh. 7:58 here at WRMN. Ninny Rose says, good morning, my beautiful first shifters. Let's have a blessed day. Good night, Derica, says Ninny Rose.
I don't think she's going to bed anytime soon. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even sleep.
I don't think she does. I think she sits in a chair all night. That's my visual of Derica.
Yeah.
Sitting like in a recliner. Falling asleep for like 20 minutes every once in a while.
Flipping through the channels on the telly.
Yeah. 7:58. We have about 15 seconds. Usually the music starts, but it didn't this time. But I think we're going to be interrupted in about 15 seconds. So come back in the next hour with us and be a part of the show. Maybe we'll talk about some issues. Maybe. Or we can talk about whatever's on your mind. This is the first shift on a Friday on WRMN.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous Handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410. Elgin time, 8 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Credan. Brought to you by Verizon. 4 members of the Kane County Board saying goodbye after their most recent meeting of the board. Mark DeVos stepping down after 2 decades of service. Mike Kenyon leaving his mark after 18 years. Ron Ford, known for his focus on employment and growth, completing over a decade in his role. And Monica Silva, who has served since 2010, is also moving on from Kane County Board. In Naperville, the Municipal Officers Electoral Board, including Mayor Scott Wehrle, convened to assess objections to nomination petitions for City Council candidates Nag Jaiswal and Farid Shabazz. The board completing a hearing for Shabazz, ruling 2-1 in favor of the objectors, effectively removing him from the ballot. The Elgin Police Department announcing that they have a person of interest in custody related to a shooting that occurred in the 400 block of Douglas Avenue earlier this week. There they had found an injured man who was taken to a local hospital. His condition remains unknown. Elgin Police continuing to investigate. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Credan.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. Twin Zeros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twin Zeros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame. Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches. To ethnic favorites such as Slovakia and Grecian chicken. Slovakia is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's twinzeros.com.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears and Packers square off this Sunday. Chicago's offense will be under new direction with Thomas Brown taking over for the fired Shane Waldron. Jaquan Brisker remains out with a concussion. Tevin Jenkins out with an ankle injury. Mercedes Lewis sat out practice Thursday on a rest day. For Green Bay, a couple of new additions on Thursday. Rashid Walker limited with a knee injury. Jordan Morgan has a shoulder injury and was limited. NBA Cup group play tonight. The Bulls visit the Cavaliers. Chicago's 5-7. The Cavs off to a 13-0 start. Donovan Mitchell averaging just under 24 points a game. Nikola Vukovic averaging a double-double a game for the Bulls this season. 20.7 points, 10.2 rebounds. College football Saturday. Illinois looks to snap a 2-game losing skid. They take on Michigan State. Huge test for Northwestern when they host number 2 Ohio State.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
My phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400 and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Cowboy. Cowboy.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake press.
Okay, so there's the beginning of that song. Welcome back to the first shift, by the way.
Because we all want to be big rock stars, live in hilltop mansion, driving 15 cars.
I'm through with standing in line, the clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be.
Cowboy.
I want a brand new house on an episode of Crazy.
I mean, I guess it's kind of different.
I guess it's kind of different. I think it's very different. I need Northwest West to drive by again, and
he may be driving the other direction,
and have some solidarity with me.
There's Kid Rock and Cowboy. Some of our listeners' favorite songs, by the way, Nickelback and Kid Rock. Here on the show today.
I like Nickelback.
I know, I do too.
They catch a lot of flack, man.
Nickelback catches a lot of flack?
They do.
For being what? Like posers or something?
Well, it's like the whole Creed syndrome. Like, Nickelback hasn't done anything wrong. I mean, to the point, like, Nickelback has gotten the raw end of the stick because people just love to hate them.
Why?
I don't know. To the point where in... man, I don't remember what the name of the movie is because, like, it's Deadpool 2, the second Deadpool. But, like, there's a release of Deadpool 2 that came out that's, like, a little bit more, I don't want to say family friendly because it's still ultra violent, but it's, like, no swearing, and it's definitely edited for, it's not rated R. And the whole bit is taken from The Princess Bride, and Deadpool's reading the story to, of course, I just blanked on the guy, Fred Savage, as though Fred Savage was being read to by his grandfather in Princess Bride. Have you seen Princess Bride?
No.
Oh, I'm talking to you like you know what I'm talking about.
No.
Okay.
I don't ever know what anybody's talking about.
I know. That's fine. I hope to God everybody else that's listening knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, but there's a whole point in that movie that Fred Savage makes a joke about Nickelback, and then Deadpool just goes off defending Nickelback. I mean, they've won countless amount of awards. They've been nominated for so many. I mean, and the band's good. It's a good band. It's a good rock band. Like, it's just bare bones, straight up rock music. And for some reason, people just love to hate Nickelback. Just like people loved to hate Creed. Like, Creed was like the butt of so many jokes, like throughout the 2000s and even like in the 2010s. But, you know, some people are like, oh, Creed sucks. I just went and saw Creed twice on tour, and they sold out like big arenas, like, right. You know, and they're back. It's huge, and so you can't tell me that a band that's selling out and like their comeback tour that band sucks. Just the same thing with Nickelback. Like, I don't know what all the hate's about because it's a good band.
Well, some of us might think that Taylor Swift sucks, but she sells out huge arenas too.
I don't. I mean, and honestly,
stadiums, whatever.
I don't think Taylor Swift sucks. I hate the whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing. I feel like she needs to stay out of the NFL. But like, honestly though, I give Taylor. I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Swift. I don't mind her music. There's some songs that I actually do really like, but I wouldn't consider myself a fan. I wouldn't consider myself a Swiftie. But at the same time, though, I also have mad respect for her. Like, to be able to get on stage night after night, sell out arenas, sell out tours, impact that many young women's lives. Like, what she has done and the impact, especially on pop culture, like, she's huge, and she's not going away. And she's kind of cemented herself in history. And so I give a lot of respect for that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the Beatles. I don't even really like the Beatles at all, but I have mad respect for what they did for music, especially bringing that type of rock and music to the U.S. Like, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of credit that needs to be given places, and Nickelback is one of those.
Now that you mentioned being a Swiftie, I don't even know Taylor Swift songs, so I can't comment one way or the other. I mean, I can, but it's not an educated comment. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have a T-shirt that says "I'm a Swiftie."
Yeah.
Me wearing a T-shirt that says "I'm a Swiftie."
It's got to be pink, though.
That'd be great.
That'd be the best.
Maybe I should wear a "I'm a Swiftie" pink T-shirt when I go watch the Mike Tyson fight tonight.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's 8:11 here at WRMN, 847-931-1410. Maybe Jake Paul should wear a "I'm a Swiftie" T-shirt as he gets into the ring tonight to take on Mike Tyson.
That would be awesome.
All right, let's go to the phones at 847-931-1410. Good morning. Welcome to the first shift. Hello, you're on WRMN.
Maybe we're on mute.
Are you there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nice try.
812 here at WRMN. We're going to talk with the police chief at 9 o'clock this morning. Friday is with the finest and Tim Calderwood. In less than 30 minutes, we'll talk about our pick six, which I didn't make my pick six picks.
I did.
I better do it, I guess, at the bottom of the hour break.
There were a couple of games that were a little difficult, but honestly, this past weekend, I was surprised to go 3-3. I was very surprised. I got off to a really bad start. I mean, honestly, there are points during that whole thing that most of my picks should have actually gone my way, and they didn't. And then I also didn't think that my Sunday night pick was going to go anywhere because the Lions were totally sucking wind.
Yeah,
and they were down. But man, the end of that game was good sports TV. That's the type of stuff that I want. It was almost like the Thursday night game last week. Not last night, but the last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, whatever.
The Baltimore and Cincinnati game?
Oh man, they lost by 1 point.
Yeah.
That was a great game. That's good TV. Like, that's all that I'm looking for, because most of the games on Sunday were blowouts. Not fun.
When we were talking about the Baltimore-Cincinnati game and the fact the final score was 35-34, and Cincy went for two to go for the win.
Stupid move.
I had forgotten that those were the two teams who were playing the day we went to rookies. Baltimore and Cincinnati, and the game went to overtime.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati should have won that game too.
Yep.
And their field goal kicker, they botched a snap where they could have won the game, and Baltimore ended up winning that game. So both games between Baltimore and Cincinnati this year were thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
And Cincinnati should have won both of those games.
Absolutely.
And Baltimore won both of them.
Yeah.
And now Cincinnati's on the verge of they're not going to be a playoff team unless they get red hot here in the second half of the season.
They are falling apart. It's like they're running out of gas halfway through the season. I mean, granted, we're not halfway through. Like, we're on the other side of the half, but whatever.
Yeah. 8:14 here at WRMN. So we'll do our pick six here in a little while. Who won the game last night?
Who played last night?
Philadelphia and Washington.
Oh, I think Philly won. Yeah.
Did they?
I was actually kind of surprised at that.
I knew it was going to be a good game.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was going to be a good game too, but I actually thought that the Commanders were going to be able to pull something out because they've actually been doing really, really well. I watched the game, but I wasn't like fully invested in it. So I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 26-18. I didn't remember what the score was.
Philadelphia won?
Yep.
Okay. So there's the first game of the week last night, Philadelphia over Washington. Here's a story that we would have never seen about 20 years ago, a social media influenced news story. Freedom of Facebook thoughts. Should people have it? Should people be able to say what they want on Facebook and not have it impact their careers?
No. I mean,
because it's not really a part of their private life. It's social media is a public platform.
It is. And if it's a public platform, and I mean, trust me, there's been plenty of stuff that I have seen on social media since the election results. Stuff that I am shocked that people actually decided to use a public platform to put those words out there.
Yeah.
I don't really know how best to describe it, but like, I guess there's so much that people, I mean, and honestly, that's one of the things that I feel like needs to be taught to children, even to adults these days. It's like, when you put something on the internet, it's there forever. Like, it's not going anywhere. And and you have to really think, and especially in this day and age, like, choose what you say and where you decide to say it carefully. Because if you post something on Facebook, if you post something on Instagram, if you post something on Twitter, if you put your thoughts and your words out there, and like, you should be held accountable. I think there's plenty of people that say stuff on Facebook that hide behind their digital device. Some of the stuff that they say, they should be slapped in the face for that. I feel like there's too many people that get on social media and say stupid crap that deserves to get beaten for it. Like, and the only reason why they're saying it on social media or using a platform is because they are not face-to-face with somebody.
True.
I look at it as like, if you're saying this online, if you're saying this on social media, I look at it as, would I say this to somebody face-to-face? Would I say this to somebody's face? Would I say this to somebody at a bar? Would I say this to somebody at a restaurant or at a social gathering? Is it something that, if I were to say it, would incite someone to be full of rage and probably want to beat me up? Would it start a fight? Chances are, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that a lot of people have basically used that as a gut reaction. Like, they'll be so fired up and they get on social media and they'll rant and they'll rave and they'll put something up there. Like, that type of stuff. Like, it's fine. You can do it. Like, it's an open platform. Anyone has the right to do it. Whatever. But yes, I feel like you should be held accountable for what you post on social media.
The dumbest thing is when teenagers like commit crimes or something,
and they film it,
and they make a comment about it on social media.
Yeah,
they're like, "Thank you." Police are like, "Thank you very much for helping us solve this crime."
Totally. Well, I mean,
but
stupid.
Yeah. So this a post in a private Facebook group that listed pro-Trump businesses and claimed they have terrible politics has resulted in an ethics complaint against a Geneva City Council member. There are calls for her to be fired from her job with the city of Aurora as well. I guess she works for the city of Aurora, but she's a Geneva City Council member. Geneva alderperson Martha Paschke said although she was an administrator for the Fox Valley Activists Facebook page, she is no longer. In addition, she said she did not create the list and did not post it. Fox Valley Activists describe themselves as impassioned progressives. Their Facebook page is private, meaning someone requests to join and then is admitted to the group. Paschke says she has been besieged with obscene and threatening emails, text messages, and phone calls. I'm getting hate calls from Wisconsin and Michigan. They're not stopping. I'm not an admin on that page anymore. The list was up for about an hour and 15 minutes. I never even saw it. I don't know who created the list. I support all of our local businesses, she said. In addition to being a Geneva alderperson, Paschke works for the city of Aurora as director of innovation and strategy. She said police are providing additional protection for her family now because of these threats. So I get she's claiming someone else. She is not claiming she wasn't at one time a part of this Facebook group, but she's claiming that she had nothing to do with this. I guess this activist group just wanted to list all of the businesses in the area that supported Donald Trump, I guess with hopes that people that think like-minded to them would not go to these businesses anymore.
So,
like Gun Barrel Coffee. Nice name, by the way.
Yeah.
Gun Barrel Coffee. The list of 31 pro-Trump businesses was leaked to one on the list, Gun Barrel Coffee in Batavia. Owner Sal Dazzo shared it over social media. So I guess he wanted to share the fact that he was being called out. The list did not state the business should be boycotted, but it called them West suburban businesses with terrible politics based on observations of overt activity by the business or owner.
Really? Did they actually have terrible business policies or politics? If they're doing a good job and their product's fine and there's nothing wrong with them, I feel like this is just an attempt to call them out and say, don't patronize these places because they support this president.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see anybody posting things like, don't go to this business because they're pro-Obama. Don't go to this business because they're pro-Bush. Don't go to this business because they're pro-Clinton. Before 8 years ago, no one gave a damn.
Well,
why all of a sudden, after 8 years ago in 2016, why is it now that everybody cares? Now you have people that are...
Well, we should care.
Well, honestly, I don't care who you voted for.
Right.
I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. I don't care what God you pray to. I don't care who you love, what gender, what sex, whatever that you decide to love. I don't care. You could have voted for Kamala Harris. You could have voted for Donald Trump. It doesn't matter. I don't see you any less of a friend. I don't see you any less of a colleague. I don't see you as any less of a person. But all of a sudden, relationships could be dashed by just asking the question. People are probably going to be divided at their holiday dinner tables this year.
Yeah.
Family members are basically writing off other family members because of who they voted for. Like, why now does it matter? Like, I get it. And I fully understand why people are like, I can't believe that you voted for a felon. I can't believe that you voted for this person. Like, if you look at it, the majority of America voted for a Republican Party person to be in the office after 4 years of the Democratic Party not being able to hold up their end of the bargain. After these 4 years, I'm telling you, even if Kamala Harris was voted into office, we would have grown to hate her in about 2 years. She was going to run this country into the ground, just like Donald Trump is going to do. And after those 4 years, after we hate whoever's in the office, this is the person that we've now elected to basically be the scapegoat and for us to hate in the next 4 years. And then it's going to swing back to the Democratic Party in 4 years. The thing is that utilize this. Like, if you're a Democrat and you voted Republican, or you have a resonance with the Republican side, okay, maybe vote Republican next time. Or if you're a Republican that kind of has some sort of insight onto what the policies and everything on the Democratic side are, great, vote Democrat. Or if you don't like either party, vote third party. Or maybe use this, if you don't understand how the Electoral College works, maybe use this as an opportunity to like understand how the voting system works. Like, this whole thing, the fact that like I have seen so much crap and so much stuff said about this election, and how I've actually been able to see how divided people really have become, because in the last 8 years, people have become so hate-filled. And a lot of people blame Donald Trump. People say, well, he divides us. Honestly, he doesn't do anything. He's a figurehead. Like, you can hate your parents, but that doesn't mean that you can't be a decent human being to the person next to you. It's your choice how you react and act from day to day. You could be a full-blown Democrat, fully on the side of Kamala Harris, and I hate Kamala Harris, and I could be a full-blown Republican on the side of Donald Trump, and you could full-blown hate Donald Trump.
Right.
But it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, because you're still Marky B, and I've known you for a very long time. We're friends. That's all that really matters. At the end of the day, I don't care who's in the office. I have the choice of how I handle my day-to-day relationships and how I treat the person next to me. You could have voted for Donald Trump. You could have voted for Kamala Harris. But it's my option and my choice to decide to be a decent human being to you, or to my friends, or to my family, or to the people that I have relationships with. And it shouldn't matter who's in the office, because that person's not coming into my house saying, you should hate this other person, or you should treat this person badly. That's your choice. How you decide to treat people is your choice. Has nothing to do with who's in the Oval Office.
Wow.
Wow.
And there's Jake's takes for today on that whole situation. 847, what's your take? 847-931-1410. We've had someone that has sat with us and listened to that. And let's see who this is. Good morning. Welcome to the first shift.
Hey, good morning, guys.
It's James. Right on time. What's up, James?
Yeah. Hey, listen, do I get equal time?
You get a few minutes here. That's equal time, right?
Hey, listen, you were mentioning Swiftie before, Swifties or whatever they're called.
Right.
It brought to my mind, where is Taylor Swift, what country is she moving to? Any news on that?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm not really a Swiftie enough to follow that.
Yeah, well, it seems to me a lot of these people that have taken that position we're talking about leaving the country.
Oh, yeah.
Just
such and such is elected, I'm out of the country.
Yep, I heard of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there again, it brings to mind my classification. They're grievance mongers. Okay, anything he comes up with, anything he decides to do, cabinet picks, whatever it may be, is a problem. It's problematic. In fact, it was interesting the comment Jake's just made about whoever gets in is going to run the country into the ground.
Yeah.
I was curious about that. That's kind of a fatalist position where you come up with a predetermined outcome before the person even gets a chance to do what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
So I know. So I was a little confused over that comment, but because on the other hand, I'm trying to be a little more positive in this whole thing.
Me too.
I think some of the decisions that are being made currently are really good decisions, because I want to keep in mind that the overall agenda of this incoming administration is America first. And I think that says a lot. That phrase says a lot. What it means is, and I think it's been pointed out numerous times, that it spells success, not only for the country, but success for those of us that are Americans. So that's my comment, guys.
You still have some time if you want equal time.
Oh no, I was just kidding.
Okay.
I was just kidding. I know you guys. Listen, you guys have the podium, so we can take up a lot of oxygen, but there's other people that may want to make comments. But
yeah.
All I'm trying to get across is that let's let this thing play out. My opinion, again, is I don't think this particular administration is going to run the country into the ground.
No, and honestly, that was kind of more said just for comedic purposes, and just to say that I don't know what would happen if when Donald Trump's in office. I also don't know what's going to happen what would have happened if Kamala Harris was in office. My point though is we generally as a country elect this new president in, and then after a while, there's plenty of people that get upset with it, and they're looking to kind of swing the other way after a while, because I feel like making everybody happy is impossible. And I'm a firm believer with you, James, whereas a lot of people are making all of these harsh comments and oh my God, I'm terrified, and this is going to be terrible for our country, and people are going to be deported, and people are going to lose their jobs, and people are going to be we don't have any freedom anymore.
The man's Hitler.
But nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened, and I'm just give it a chance. Let something actually happen before you start making comment on it. So I'm in full agreement with you, James. Yes, give it time. Nothing's happened yet, and when things actually happen, now you can comment on it. But anyway,
all right, James. Well, thanks.
Well, yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, and just remember, the grievance mongers are still around.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Have a good weekend.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
James checking in 847-931-1410. I was kind of following you there. With the whole majority of American voters think that the country has been dragged down over the past 3 or 4 years but then you kept on going and said the next president's going to come in and do the same thing. And I think a lot of people that voted for Trump don't feel that way.
And I honestly would like to see it swing that way. But I mean, if you look at the way that things have been in the last several years, I would like to think that it's going to be able to carry through the next 4 years and be on the positive side of things. But I've seen a constant repetition that when a president's voted in, everybody's hoping for like a big change or things to actually be turned around. But we generally don't see that. Or when things do actually start happening, after about 2 years, everyone's just like, oh, I'm kind of over this guy, like waiting for the next election so we can move things around again. And honestly, there's probably a lot of things that are going to be happening in the next 4 years that we won't see the effects of for a couple of years after that. And so the next guy who even comes in after Trump, or whoever even comes in after the guy after Trump, will probably get the credit for what's happening because it takes so long to implement or to even move the needle to see like the shift in the economy or to see certain reforms actually get into the process. Like I'm hoping that things are good. I'm hoping that there's a really good change and that things are progressively better over the next 4 years and that we don't turn around and like, well, I'm kind of over and tired of this guy. I'd like to move on to the next person. I'm just saying, like, I would like for that to happen, and I hope that these people are correct in thinking that. But I've just noticed historically a lot of people get tired after about 2.5 years, and they're like, oh, man, well, maybe next year, maybe next election. It's kind of like watching the Bears.
Right. Well, I think a lot of the Republican voters and those who voted for Trump and support Trump feel like Trump now has a chance to, even if he can't straighten out all that's deemed to have been going wrong in the last 4 years in a lot of people's minds, he sets the stage for the younger guy, which he's got right under him right now in J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
To continue what he starts in the next 4 years.
Honestly, like James was saying, like, let's just see what happens. I mean, and you can't comment on it yet because it hasn't happened yet, and hopefully it's good, and there's a possibility that it's not. I'm not saying that, like, and I mean, honestly, I didn't like either of the candidates. I kind of feel like we needed to just kind of clean the slate and find better options. So I'm not necessarily mad that Donald Trump's in office, but I'm also not exactly happy. And I would have been the same way for Kamala Harris. I'm an independent that leans Republican, but at this point in time, I'm like, I don't like either of these people, and I don't really know where it's going to go. So at this point in time, I just hope it works out. Because honestly, I want what's best for the American people. I want what's best for our economy. And I think the America First thing is a great thing. Because I feel like we need to focus more on the American people, all the efforts and the issues happening in our own backyard. And I feel like the American people need to come first, whereas I feel like there's a lot of attention being paid elsewhere. And I'm not saying forget about like the Middle East and Ukraine and all that stuff. Like, I mean, we should be at least somewhat aware and and giving some sort of thought and attention to foreign policies and foreign affairs. But I feel like the focus on the American people, our economy, and our society was kind of lost over the last several years. And I'm not saying it was Joe Biden's fault. I'm not saying that it's Trump's fault or whatever. I'm just saying, like, there needs to be kind of more focus on America as our country.
8:35. Let's take another phone call here, one more, and then maybe we'll break before Tim Calderwood joins us to talk about the Pick Six in football. It's David Tees joining us here on the show. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Not too bad.
All right, man. How about yourself?
Tired.
Yeah.
Gloomy day today, but weigh in on this here. With businesses, I don't think they're going to be affected by comments that people are saying. People are going to go to where they want to go to. If it's a Democrat that doesn't want to go buy Gun Barrel coffee, they won't. If it's but I don't think that putting a hit list on businesses is going to affect them.
Yeah.
And with this administration, with Trump being voted in, people voted in because they're tired of what's going on.
Yep.
And this is mainstream media is the one that is separating people today because of Trump. Because the Democrats don't want the cookie jar, which is money. It's money. Everything's about money with them. Look at Kamala Harris. She had $100 or $1 billion in her war chest for her campaign, and Now she's, 20 million in the hole? Where did all the money go? I mean, I think it's, like they said, I think separation didn't come from, Trump winning. It came from mainstream media telling these people that don't see the real deal here is that Trump's bad, Trump's evil. But they never said that Harris is bad or Biden is bad, Biden is evil. I think that's where the separation comes from.
Yeah.
I think Biden's too confused to be evil.
Yeah. He's too out of it. He's out of it. He's not evil.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of evil in a way, too, though. I never liked his attitude.
No.
He always seemed really negative about everything. And but anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, anyway, I appreciate your thoughts, David.
Yeah, I'll stop in a little bit later and do the pick six.
Okay, sounds good.
Today, but I'll see you guys later.
All right, take care. All right, David T's chiming in. We do have to talk about the pick six. So let's take this quick break. That'll give me a chance to go run and get a sheet of paper and circle some teams and do my pick six before we have to give them on the air. It's 8:37. It's a Friday. Tim Calderwood's going to join us just in a couple of moments here as the first shift continues on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Happy weekend. Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
Michael Brown, former Undersecretary of Homeland Security and Director of FEMA, is your new full-time host of The Weekend, which airs every Saturday from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN. Each week on the popular 3-hour program, Brown offers listeners a fresh take on the weekend talk with his provocative insights into current events, politics, and culture. So late in the day on Saturday, make it a point to catch The Weekend with Michael Brown right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Okay, antibodies, huddle up. We're a great team, but the flu is dominating. The good news is the human we're protecting just got his flu shots. That means all of us antibodies have strong new gear that will help us fight and defend against the flu. We must win so that our human can stay healthy and help protect the people he cares about most.
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect yourself and others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
The new novel, titled DUI Jury Trial, is the true story of two lawyers who defend a truck driver who is charged with DUI. If he's convicted, this truck driver faces a lifetime disqualification of his commercial driver's license, which would prevent him from ever driving a truck again. This 3-year legal battle culminates in a courtroom showdown, which involves the testimony of a DUI expert witness. This book, DUI Jury Trial, is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Looking for a place to try for breakfast or lunch? You'll find a gem of a restaurant with amazing food and great prices at the Tripleberry Cafe, 435 Angela Lane in Crystal Lake. For breakfast, try Tripleberry's strawberry cheesecake French toast, ribeye steak and eggs, or carnitas skillets. At lunch, there's the AM burger or Chipotle chicken BLT. There's delicious homemade cream of mushroom soup. For tasty home cooking, Tripleberry Cafe is the place to be. Visit tripleberrycafe.com.
8:41, Friday here on the first shift, WRMN AM 1410, WRMN Radio on YouTube. Mark and Jake's with you and Tim Calderwood, too, on a Friday as we are going to talk about the Pick Six and bring our friend Tim Calderwood, who always analyzes these games, on the air with us on a Friday morning. Hi, Tim.
Did that rhyme?
You did.
Marks and Jakes and Tim, too?
Tim Calderwood, too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Not too bad.
Yeah, okay. How about you?
Oh, trying to figure out this NFL season is weird.
It is. I mean, this past Sunday, I was watching some of these games, and I'm like, some of the teams that should have, in my opinion, should have won weren't, and there are a lot of teams that I feel that are struggling that shouldn't be struggling, and I don't know. It's weird. Like, there's a weird shift going on. And
yeah, I just love to show, you know how they talk about the Bears and, they only beat the bad teams. Well, there's not really any bad teams in the NFL per se.
Right. I mean, the Jaguars are pretty bad.
Tennessee's not very good. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking at these. I just ran. I never did my pick six, Tim, until the last 3 minutes before we went back on the air here.
Okay.
So I'm like circling the teams real fast. It doesn't usually take me too long, but these are some interesting.
Listen to my analysis and let my analysis influence your decisions.
I might have to on this first game because it's the one game I didn't circle yet. So I guess let's go ahead and get started on the pick six. Where last week, Tim, you and I were 4-2, and Jake's was 3-3. And I'm 32-22 this year. And Tim, you're like 3 games behind, and Jake's is an even 500 at 27-27. Downtown Jose was our winner at 6-0 last week. The only person to go 6-0 in the pick six last week amongst our players. The Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints. The new Saints coach has a weird look on his face. Did you see him?
I did not.
Oh, he's kind of cool looking.
Okay.
Rizzi is his name, his last name.
Okay.
And he was kind of having fun, and the Saints seemed to be having a good time with him as their coach last weekend, and he won his first game as their new head coach.
Good for him.
Yeah. So the Saints are at home against the Cleveland Browns. The Saints are 3-7, and the Browns are 2-7. Makes this a very interesting game to pick. I'm just going to go ahead and circle one here. Jakes, what do you think?
I'm going with the Saints because they're at home. I feel like they've got like a newfound excitement. I heard about the new coach, and I heard about last week's game. I just haven't seen the coach, so I don't know. But I feel like they've got a little bit more of like a spark. Like they've got a new toy, and so they're gonna continue to run with it. So I'm gonna and they're at home, which is a bonus.
Right.
So I'm gonna take the Saints over the Browns.
It's always hard to win in New Orleans. Seems like the Saints fans have a big positive influence on the Saints over the years at home. But the Cleveland Browns have had a terrible season, but they did have a bye week, so they should be a little more prepared. Tim, I
don't think that's going to matter.
What do you think about this, Tim?
So Cleveland, they had the one really good game when they went to Jameis Winston, and they had a bad game when they went under Jameis Winston. I don't know what the bye week did in terms of helping or not helping. There's just not a lot of playmakers on that team right now. And the Saints, I think the Bears really should have taken notice. Hey, you know what happens? You fire your head coach during the year, and all of a sudden the players rally. I know the Bears fired their offensive coordinator this week, but I think we're just getting more of the same with Eberflus, honestly, and this team's going nowhere fast. But back to the Saints and Browns, New Orleans being at home is a big factor here, even though the Browns have had a long time off. I do think, like I said, that with the new head coach, they're going to be playing better for him like they did last week, and so we'll take the Saints.
All right, Saints for Tim, and I'm also going to take the New Orleans Saints. I was kind of leaning towards Cleveland originally, but New Orleans has a little spark because of their new coach, and Cleveland doesn't have a whole lot right now. So I'll take the Saints also. Baltimore and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a classic matchup. When these two teams play, it's usually a very interesting game. A lot of times it's been a very low-scoring game. And we'll see what happens this time around. It's always interesting to see Tomlin against Harbaugh. Jakes, what do you think?
It's going to be a good game. Yeah. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm honestly, it could have been a coin toss, but I'm leaning on the Ravens here. Just, I don't know why. I just have a better feeling about it. Which probably means that the Steelers are going to win, but whatever.
Yeah. Steelers at home. They beat the Washington Commanders last weekend on a great catch in the end zone late in the game to win 28-27. So Steelers have a little magic this year. What do you think, Tim?
I love this game to determine who can probably win the AFC North, honestly. Pittsburgh's at home, which is, a bit of an X factor, kind of. The Steelers are probably playing as good as they have in quite a few years. But that said, the Ravens, it's crazy is we've seen them kind of stub their toe a little bit recently in terms of the way that they've been playing. And I just don't think that happens in this game. I think they get up for it because they're playing the Steelers, because they're on the road. And I think they win. And I don't know. What I'm saying is they might have a chance to blow out the Steelers in this game. Take the Ravens.
Well, I'm not sure the Baltimore Ravens know what blowing somebody out means. They always seem to like drama in every game they play. And they always are, to me, the more talented team in every game they play. And I kind of see this as a little bit of a classic slugfest between these two teams. But I do think the Baltimore Ravens are the better team. In fact, I think Baltimore is right there with Detroit as maybe being the top two teams in the NFL right now. I'm going to pick the better team, in my mind, to win this game, which I'm still not 100% Steelers believer. So I'm taking Baltimore. So we're all taking Baltimore in this game. Third game is the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. The Jekyll Hyde Jets are at home this weekend, and I imagine Joe Flacco still quarterbacking the Indianapolis Colts this weekend at the Jets. What do you think, Jakes?
This was also a really tough game for me because I feel more confident in picking the Colts, but at the same time, the Jets, Aaron Rodgers can only take so many losses, and I feel like he's going to pull out the Aaron Rodgers magic in the fourth quarter, figure out some way of winning this game. So they're going to probably be 4-7, which is still a terrible record.
Yeah.
But I feel like just for that sake alone, I'm going to take the Jets.
All right, Jets for Jakes. Tim, what do you think?
So the Colts are actually back to Anthony Richardson this week.
Oh, okay.
That's Joe Flacco. If that tells you how good their quarterbacking is, I don't know what does, because I think that they're both very bad, Flacco and Richardson. This is one of those games that you kind of look at and you're like, is this going to be a good game or is this going to be a bad game? And the Jets, they've been so up and down recently since they made that coaching change. But, again, we're talking about who's the better team here, and it's in New York. I am going to take the Jets.
Yep. So far, we're all unanimous on all three games. I just think that in this game, Indianapolis doesn't bring enough to the table. And Aaron Rodgers is, still has his moments of magic. The Jets are going to be back home, so I think they're due for a win in this game. So Jets for all of us here. Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos, two teams that have been, I guess, maybe pleasant surprises in the NFL so far this season. Falcons at 6-4. Broncos at 5-5. Denver, especially after a terrible start, seems to be playing pretty well under Sean Payton. Should have beat the Chiefs probably last week had they not botched that field goal in the end. They're at home, which always seems to be a plus for Denver. Jakes, what do you think?
I'm definitely going with Denver. This game could go either way, but I don't know. Just seeing how Denver's kind of been pulling around lately, and I feel like they're on a good track and they're playing well. I think that I'm gonna pick Denver over the Falcons.
All right, Tim, what do you think?
Well, we've kind of seen the real Kirk Cousins lately, haven't we? I do think Denver's playing really well. You look at the rookie quarterbacks, right? Everybody's playing well except for Caleb Williams. And Bo Nix is certainly the key piece of that. I'm just going to go with the Falcons to be different, I think, here. And because Atlanta, I feel like, has more playmakers than the Broncos do. So I will take Atlanta to pull off the surprise, I guess, if you want to call it a surprise, in Denver.
Yeah.
I saw an interview, like a post-game interview with Bo Nix, and the guy was like, take us through the end zone interception. And he's like, drop back, threw it to the other team.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. And I was like, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
I'll take Denver here. I just think they continue to play pretty well under Sean Payton here, and this game's at home. I think it's a close game, though. I can see Atlanta winning, but I'm going to take Denver. So it's the first game that anybody has stepped out and gone against the other two, and that's Tim taking Atlanta. Kansas City at Buffalo. Will the Chiefs' bubble finally burst this weekend? 9-0. The Buffalo Bills. These two teams like to play each other. They play crazy games over the years. Buffalo is 8-2. Jakes, what do you think?
I hate the Chiefs.
I know you do.
Oh, my God. I'm so tired of these guys. So I want the Bills to win. I would be so happy for the Bills to win. But it's the Chiefs, and somehow, some way, I mean, I can't believe there are so many things on the internet joking around about Patrick Mahomes owning the NFL. Like, all of the memes, all of the jokes, everything. Like, it's so ridiculous. I'm going to take the Chiefs because they're going to figure out some way to win this game. The script of the NFL has been written, and everyone's going to follow it. So I'm taking the Chiefs.
Okay. Tim, do you disagree?
I do.
Yeah.
Buffalo ends Kansas City's run. Kansas City's been pretty lucky the last couple of weeks.
God,
I think the Bills are hungry, and the Bills are a team that is certainly capable of being up there with Kansas City when they're at their best. And I always feel like Josh Allen comes out and wants to show the NFL that he's as good or better than Patrick Mahomes. So I'm taking the Bills. They're at home, and I think Kansas City's magic runs out because we really haven't seen the Chiefs kind of dominate anybody yet.
Well, no, because they've won games on technicalities or just by like a hair. Like they deserve to lose a game, and this is one of those games that I would be just fine losing.
I think they run into a buzzsaw. They run into a buzzsaw this weekend, and they finally get brought down to earth. And I think Buffalo's going to drill them in this game. So I'm taking Buffalo, too.
I hope so.
Cincinnati and the L.A. Chargers, interesting game. Cincinnati's heartbreaking losses have to be getting to them a little bit, though. They should be probably at least 6-4 instead of 4-6. But that's what Cincinnati does. And anyway, they're at the Los Angeles Chargers, who quietly are flying under the radar. And the Chargers, I'm going to take the Chargers, and now I didn't realize that we're down to about a minute and a half here. Jakes, what do you think?
I'm going to take the Chargers. I feel like the Bengals are just, there's something wrong over there. They just can't get it together, so I'm taking the Chargers.
Chargers. Tim, what do you think?
Bengals. Have we seen how Joe Burrow's been playing lately? That's why I'm taking Cincy here, even though I think the Chargers are kind of an anomaly. I think that Jim Harbaugh's got them playing pretty well, but I think we're kind of seeing smoke screens from them.
Yeah, I can see Cincinnati winning, that's for sure. But I'll take the Chargers. I think Harbaugh will somehow find a way to get it done, and Cincinnati will find another way to lose a game. And Green Bay and Chicago, that's the tiebreaker game, because I know everybody's picking the Packers, so why make it one of the top 6 games?
Right.
Jake's right?
28-6.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, if the Bears could just beat the Packers, that'd be fantastic. That would make the season for me. Like, you could just stop playing after that, but I know it's not going to happen.
28-6. Jake says Green Bay wins. Tim?
24-13. I think we see some flashes from the Bears after their, kind of changes this week, but they're still not going to be good enough to beat the Packers.
And I'm saying Green Bay 26 and the Chicago Bears 12. So we're all kind of in the same boat there. Offensive coaching play changes don't make the big difference in this game. Still got a banged up offensive line. And Green Bay's had a bye week too, so. All right, Tim. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate your time.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Take care, buddy. All right, Tim Calderwood. Jakes, have a good weekend, man. Enjoy the Tyson fight tonight.
Yeah, should be fun.
Could talk about that next week, I guess. Okay, and coming up next, it's Chief Anilali, and Friday is with the Finest as our first shift festivities continue. Keep it here on the First Shift, WRMN.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Cintas. In Naperville, the Municipal Officers Electoral Board, including Mayor Scott Wehrle, convened to assess objections to nomination petitions for City Council candidates Nag Jaiswal and Fareed Shabazz. The board completing a hearing for Shabazz, ruling 2-1 in favor of the objectors, effectively removing him from the ballot. The Elgin Police Department announcing that they have a person of interest in custody related to a shooting that occurred in the 40 block of Douglas Avenue earlier this week. There, they had found an injured man who was taken to a local hospital. His condition remains unknown. Elgin Police continuing to investigate. 4 members of the Kane County Board saying goodbye after their most recent meeting of the board. Mark DeVos stepping down after 2 decades of service. Mike Kenyon leaving his mark after 18 years. Ron Ford, known for his focus on employment and growth, completing over a decade in his role. And Monica Silva, who has served since 2010, is also moving on from Kane County Board. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400 and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Thursday Night Football, the Eagles rallied to a 26-18 win over the Commanders. Philadelphia 8-2 with the victory. They improved to 4-1 at home, while the Commanders dropped to 7-4, 3-3 on the road. Washington led it 7-3 heading into the half and took a 10-6 lead into the fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts gave Philadelphia a 12-10 lead on a 1-yard rushing touchdown. Then Saquon Barkley rushed for 2 touchdowns just 20 seconds apart on the clock. The first was a 23-yard rush at 4:58, then a 39-yard touchdown at 4:38. Barkley carried the ball 26 times for a total of 146 yards. Hurts 18 of 28 passing, 221 yards. He got sacked 2 times for a loss of 15. On the other side, Jaden Daniels 22 of 32 passing, 191 yards, a touchdown and interception. He got sacked 3 times for a loss of 20.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. This holiday, trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's over $1,800 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Over $1,800 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first, like you know to check the propane